before we get into the matchup, so we'll bring up the map veto for you. And no surprise to see most of these teams immediately vetoing Theme Park. A lot of teams aren't ready for it. There's only one more play day after this. You might be able to actually make it through without going to Theme Park for most of these teams, down to the final 2 bans. And we're going to go to Clubhouse with Consulate being banned out. So Team 1 starting on attack, INTZ starting on defense. That's great fortunes for INTZ because this is a defender-sided map. And even though the Liquid phase game saw Team Liquid win 3 attacks in a row on Clubhouse, I think that was more just to how balanced the matchup was. INTZ is definitely going to have a strong start given the fact that they're going to be on defense for 6 rounds.
So overall, this is a bad map for both teams, but relative to their performance as teams, like if you tune those results, mostly being losses and draws. Neither of these teams have won on this map. If you tune your results, Team 1 have played it 3 times in recent history, last few months or so. They've lost it to Liquid, lost it to NIP. It got really close against NIP, 7-5. That's pretty decent. They also drew against INTZ. So this is a rematch on the same map. And on the INTZ side, of course, there's that draw versus Team 1. And then they also drew against Ninjas in Pajamas. So about equal for both teams on how they're not fantastic on this map. Who do you think is going to win? Why don't you go ahead and tell us?
I suspect INTZ will be the one to walk away with this, and there you have it, though it is very close. 53% of you think INTZ, 38% of you think Team 1, and 9% for a draw. So that's exactly where my mind would be at. I think it will be a close matchup. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, at least if the previous result is any indicator. These teams played on Clubhouse before. It was a 6-6 last time. I anticipate we're probably, unless one of the teams runs away with it, whether we find that, hey, Team 1 is just the better team and they crush it on attack and then transition to defense and do an excellent job there, or if INTZ runs up the scoreline and just they are here today to play and they start to run away with it, I suspect it's just going to be a 3-3. I can see it being very even. You have cash being won twice, maybe one church being won, one church being lost, 2 gyms, or even another church being lost. Who knows? But we've got everybody in the lobby. We're ready to get rolling. We're ready to start. And just like that, apparently 2 people just immediately disconnected. So that is unlucky. They were literally ready to start. So we'll wait for them to get back in.
Yeah, I guess I'll go through the ban phase while we wait. So both of these teams, every time they've played on this map, they have exclusively banned hard breachers on attack. Neither team has banned anything other than hard breachers. If we're taking a look at like the specifics, it's mostly Habana, Maverick, and Thermite, actually, yeah, so across the board, but mainly Maverick. Maverick's the key one here, so he's most likely to be banned. But it's not a guarantee, of course. On the defense, when it comes to these bans, Team 1 actually has some interesting ones. INTZ is really boring with their defensive bans. They ban Echo and Mira. But who knows? Maybe they'll show us something different in this match. We're going to load into the match now, and I'll talk about the last one here. For Team 1 on defense, they've actually banned an array of operators. They've banned Goyo, Echo, and Bandit. So some interesting things going on there. On the attacking side, you could expect at least 1 hard breacher ban, most likely a Maverick. Possibly 2 hard breacher bans for all we know. It's not a guarantee. And then on the defense, pretty much standard, except for maybe a Goyo, maybe a Bandit. We'll see. But what is that? What is at whatever that is?
I have no idea. I don't. I know the K's are all laughter.
Yeah, the K is like laughter for sure. There's a couple different types of laughter in Brazilian Portuguese. There's cool. We got a Monte man. That's different. There's the K's and then there's the KE. And they used to do, but I hear they don't really do it anymore. They used to do HUE, 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 or something like that. And I guess they don't. I haven't seen that one in ages. So the last time I saw that one, I was playing some free-to-play FPS.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've seen that in free-to-play games before.
Yeah, it's a big thing in free-to-play FPSs.
Yeah.
The bans, other than the Montaigne, playing out exactly as you would expect. And nothing else. That's it. That's the ban phase done. We will head to Church for the first defense here. Thatcher's still in play, so that's really worth keeping an eye on. Where those EMPs find themselves is it's going to be highly relevant. The Kaid Electro Claws, of course, are going to be a big factor as well. Since the bottom floor, you can expect some impact tricking, probably from the Legion. Mute Mozzie combo. Goyo is going to get 6-picked into what? What are you going to give us, Drunks? It'll be a castle. Okay. So that suggests a roam. A Vigil also suggests a roam, but now you don't have the castle to support you, so you're going to get cut off in the middle a lot easier. So it will likely still be a roam, just a less well thought out one.
Yeah, I don't see anything particularly weird in INTZ's lineup here. They'll likely open the gym hatch. They'll probably open the church hatch, or rather, sorry, the bar hatch. The hatch over towards Moto, which is stock, will either be reinforced or just left soft, just where the reinforcements are going to be allocated. Good lord, there are 5 reinforcements going on upstairs. This is a heavy roam from INTZ.
Yeah, I even more now wish that for their sake, that they had brought the castle, because the more they invest upstairs, without a castle, the easier it is to cut those, or not the easier necessarily, but the more that is invested upstairs, the worse it is when your top 4 roamers get cut off because the castle's not there. But they're playing a much more open middle floor roam. I mean, look at this. They've opened all these angles. They're trying to make it really arduous for Team 1 to clear out those top 2 floors.
This is going to be a tough one to crack for Team 1. I'm sure they've seen this before, though, and I suspect they'll know how to handle it.
Yeah.
The hatch has been opened up in Moto already, so that was something that I'd predicted on earlier. First kill comes out in favor of Team 1, so that roam obviously not working out so well for the Vigil, an operator well designed for that roam, and now there's duds gone as well. Say goodbye to the Legion. So this control that Team 1 wanted very early happens, 1 minute off of the clock. You still need to flush out Alimao and VNX, and VNX will creep up above. He doesn't have the hatch opened up to drop from Billiards. Beautiful C4 tossed up from Alimao as he's made it back to the bomb site. He's likely got Vitz somewhere nearby, as I suspect the Kaid will be playing in the confines of the bomb site. It looks like he's either in the back of Arsenal or just simply playing by red stairs. And it looks like it was the main stairs, actually, as he gets away with murder. A kill onto Team 1. They are being pushed back very aggressively right now, and finding ourselves at a 3v3. The roam from INTZ has worked well, but now it's time for them to get back. All the fun is over. Playing blue! 1 for Vitz. He's down Skagenia as well. C4 will go out, and a push up with the L85. Philippox will capitalize off of that. Skagenia can get himself back up. You'll need one of the people from INTZ to get back into the site, and they will do that. It's Alimao. He finds Skagenia. No way for the Zofia to be able to res herself. Behind the bar in the comfort will be a defender. Position given away from the remaining attacker of Philippox as he shoots a couple times. Alimao is waiting very patiently inside of Moto. He's got the time on his side. 45 seconds left. No information whatsoever from Philippox. He's going to need to retrieve that diffuser, and by doing so, he's going to get shot from inside of blue. He doesn't know that there's somebody inside of Moto, who's now rotated around to main stairs. And that's all she wrote for that round. INTZ started off weak, but they bounced back, and they bounced back really well. Alimao with the last kill, and they'll go up 1-0.
The aggression there from Team 1 to take that site control is really the weakness, obviously, for INTZ that you were talking about. And the strength of that defense for INTZ was the fact that they had so much investment upstairs, as it turns out. And the reason it was a strength is because Team 1 opted not to focus on those roamers upstairs. They went for a totally different way of taking the bomb site. They're like, oh, you're roaming upstairs? We'll hit the bomb site direct. That was clearly the wrong call, and that call was punished quite severely at that, because we had an absolutely, well, I'm not going to say dominant. We had an interesting round for both teams, to be honest, but we had a lockout that was, I guess, predetermined based on the decision making from Team 1. That is how I will put it. They really should have instead, at the very least, while hitting the bomb site, had somebody to punish the rotations that came out from INTZ, but they didn't, because they were too focused on one side of that bomb site, not enough control above. Anyway, that's round number 1 done.
10 seconds to go.
And we'll move on to Cash. INTZ looking pretty solid on defense.
5 seconds remaining.
not much good, not good reading so far from Team One. Not gonna say they're illiterate, but they'll need to step up on their reading of their opponent.
Read them like a book.
But on different pages, Parker.
Woo! I like when these puns work together.
But you made a different reference earlier, and I forgot to mention I got that one. I think it was a 9-9 reference.
9-9?
9?
Yes, it was the self-burn one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, self-burn. Those are rare.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm 2 for 2 today, I think.
yeah, you're actually doing really, really well. I got to give you, Matt. This might be the best day that we ever had. We also had the beeping joke, which is one of my favorite moments that we've now shared together.
Yes, that was a good one.
There goes the wall, by the way, as we now turn our tide, or attention rather, turn our eyes. I was going to say turn our attention / turn our eyes.
Skulls
Turn our ties. Turn our ties to what's going on in this round. They've opened up the cache wall, or CCTV wall rather, into the CCTV cache bomb site.
I'm turning my bow tie.
What are you saying?
What? No, I didn't say anything. INTZ is clearing, or rather roaming on the bottom floor. Team One trying to get control of Master. It's, again, heavy investment into the roam. This has been the difference maker for INTZ so far on the defense. Team One haven't been able to shut down that roam, and I don't think they've really put much of it. Honestly, they haven't tried very hard. They're going to try and get control of Master as their next point of focus. After you get the server wall open, you need the other location to attack. It's either Garage or it's Workshop. In this case, Team One want it to be Workshop, so they're going to invest into that.
Knock, knock.
There's those double hard breachers working together. That sounded like an Electric Claw was ready to get tossed out from Duds. I'm not exactly sure if they're trying to trick this or what. It sounded like he had an Electric Claw in his hand, but no. He's still got both of them. Where are you going to use them, Duds? You should have thrown them out by this point. You got...
Yeah.
The walls are all opened up. There is a bandit, though, so maybe it was Vitz's job to try and hold that. I'm not entirely sure what the bandit's idea was. He is roaming, so maybe it was all on Duds' shoulder and he just isn't able to do it. But it's do or die right now for Team One when you look at the clock. And there you go. They'll get the opening pick. That's what they need. INTZ was the better team through the latter half of round number 1, but right now Team 1 are starting off with a frenzy. Skadinia down below takes out 2 members of Team INTZ, and then they'll continue to roll forward. More stuns now, this time onto Ali Mao. He is... well, he's going to need to do something as Falls is getting the diffuser down. Goodbye to Ali Mao. He walks right into Radok's waiting arms, and there you go. Diffuser down, it's the Kaid inside a garage, and he gets punished. Flawless round from Team 1. They answer back.
Yeah, so, well, basically, Skadinia walked into Lounge. And then after Team 1 had opened up both the workshop wall and the server wall, because neither of the denial operators, that being the Bandit and the Kaid, were deciding to use their gadgets, because that was not happening, it was basically free. The site control was free, right? Because your Kaid and your Bandit's not doing anything. And then also, the Lounge was very poorly defended by INTZ. Skadinia allowed to win 2 separate 1v1s on the roamers below. This is a steamroll of a round. Weird to watch. Really weird to watch. But there it is. It's done now. We'll move to Jim. And INTZ will try their best here.
They'll just continue to rotate on through. I mean, they can't go back to church, so, I mean, cash is definitely an option. I am kind of surprised that they're not sticking with cash for a second whack at it, because even if you lose it, church opens up, but you're at least defending a bomb site that is far more conventional to defend and usually tends to skew towards the defenders more than Jim and Master does. You know, this is the bomb site that we refer to often as being where teams on Clubhouse lose. This is the bomb site they lose. They'll win church, they'll win cash CCTV, and they'll go to Jim Master and kind of grit their teeth and make it through and hope that they win, but usually not.
Yeah, this is, as I like to say, the low-hanging fruit. We'll see if Team 1 can pick it. They did a great job on cash. Definitely possible. not a guarantee. Team 1 trying to open up by server. If they do this, they deny the server window pressure onto the south balcony. They don't really need to do anything other than open it. And they can stick one player on that wall, and then he can watch it for the round. It's going to be Skadinia to do that. It's not a fun position to play, but it's an important one. Meanwhile, the bandit tricking going on by Alamau over by the jacuzzi wall is not being stopped by the Zofia, because she's somewhere else. She's doing a different job, which means that this is going to have to be good work from the Buck as well as the Thermite to get the wall open. Alamau will fall back. An already reinforced wall there inside a bathroom. Fellow Box does get drunks though, so the castle gone. Team 1 already getting an early kill. Bad breach there means the default cam might persist a little bit longer than expected. Nothing really transpiring other than the droning now. No clear on the cache yet. Team 1 are not going for it. They're going to let cache persist for INTZ. South balcony pressure will be abundant here for Team 1 again because they don't have to worry about server. I don't know why Reduct is worrying about server. He can just apply the pressure he needs to the site. To lose his drone and still worried about... Oh, rotated Skadinia. That's why. Okay, poor call there, I gotta say. He's still got a minute left, and Reduct could have done more on the south balcony. But the call's in. It's going to be a forced push from Jacuzzi balcony.
And they're just waiting for the call to go on in. If Vince isn't ready for this, well, then Team 1 is just going to be able to burst forward, and there you go. They're in. Bandit tricking from Alamau. It looks like he hits the wrong wall, and he immediately peels off. He's gone. So there goes some of the bathroom, and, well, you see, the Goyo steps up, and he gets removed from play. Now 2 kills from Team 1, as they have a firm control on this particular bomb site. This is what we said about Gym Master. It's not usually a bomb site you want to go to if you're a defender, especially when you've still got cash available. In for a wild ride is Alamau. They've got that entire Swiss cheese wall, MP7 in hand. He's trying to do as much damage as he can before he'll have to head over to the top of main stairs. Lots of marks coming in. Down goes the Thermite, absolutely punishing him. But he gets traded off. And there's Skadinia. He's now heading up, and Duds grabs him. Velopox going for the plant. Duds will go down below. Does he have a C4? He does. He can stop this in the final seconds. Right now, is this on the clock? But he's a little too slow. Diffuser goes down, and Duds is paralyzed down below. This is going to be a rough set of affairs for him. He holds the angle. Hibana is holding an angle as well. Who will win the fight? It's Reduct. He peeks the right way. Diffuser down. It was very tough to see that mute getting back. And Team 1, while they came within half a second of losing that plant to the Diffuser, but they could have had somebody there to plant it yet again. Not very good defenses for INTZ so far. Team 1 is racking them up.
Yeah, I gotta say, really solid one there for Team 1. The execution was close, that's for sure. Could have lost it to the C4 from below, but they didn't. And that, of course, is key. 2 attack wins on Clubhouse is a good record no matter how you shake it. They've effectively secured the first half. Not a win on the first half, but at least some comfort for Team 1. They don't have to worry. That's the main thing. So, with that in mind, INTZ in a little bit of a struggle here. They're going to once again forego the castle for a vigil on a basement defense. This has not worked out for INTZ in the past, and you worry about their chances here in the present. Interestingly, on the side of Team 1, and we've got 4 donuts in this match, 3 rounds in. I don't usually see that. Maybe 1 or 2. 4. An oddity. Opening up a donut shop, Parker.
Got some breadsticks to go with those donuts? No, actually, nobody has just 1 kill.
So no bakery, just
donuts. Yeah.
Pastry shop, I guess. We can make other things.
Well, I mean, I couldn't eat any of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the sickness. Gotta get up and get down with the sickness, Parker.
All right. I got that one.
Are you not happy about it, though?
No, it's a good one.
Oh, okay.
It's a church defense downstairs for INTZ. It's the only site they've won so far, and frankly, the only one they looked even half good at. The others, well, Cash CCTV, they lost in not really a close one, and then, well, Gym Master went the way that you'd often expect here, as, well, Skagenia and Drunks were literally a step away from each other, and neither seemed to know it. I don't know if they called there was a vigil nearby or not. Drunks has a rotate over towards Kitchen that he can try to get out of if he wants to. An aggressive play from the mute of Ali Mao inside of Stock. Hello, why exactly are you there? He almost gets punished for it, but 3 kills from INTZ on defense. This is a full court press with a minute left and a minute off of the clock. Falls and Skagenia are the last 2 alive. That's it. That's not the entry that you want at all. And Team 1's round is effectively over, barring the greatest throw that we have seen by INTZ. Maybe it'll start, though. The Vigil gives his life away. Drunks decides to take the fight to Thermite. Chews through a bit of his HP, wears him down like erosion, but he's still going to be able to walk with about 25 to 30 HP.
Falls might be able to win one more fight. Still, though, Skadenia is going to have... I mean, both Falls and Skadenia are going to have really impressive performances if they want to have any chance of winning this, to be honest. Push in here. No reinforcements, again, because all those reinforcements are upstairs. Vitz will stop one cold in Moto. Prone red, and Vitz will win the second fight as well. Great job to him holding on to Moto. On the setup, working out for INTZ this time.
Almost a perfect round for them. I think they only surrendered 1. That was it.
Yeah, the Vigil, I believe, by Kitchen. So the real kicker there for Team 1 is the way that they tried to execute that. It was different than last time and still equally bad. They haven't been able to get that attack down on the bottom floor. Whether it's rushing the site and avoiding the roamers, then the roamers collapse on you, or trying to address the roamers directly, then attempting to hit the site because you don't have any choice. Either way, it's still not working out for Team 1 on that basement assault. The kicker, though, the real bad thing for INTZ is that everywhere else is working for Team 1. All the other bomb sites so far, they've looked pretty comfortable for Team 1. And because of that, it's likely that this is going to end in... not likely, but it's probably going to be a decent half for Team 1 on attack. I'd say that they're lining up for a minimum of 3-3, probably even a 4-2, because INTZ can't go to the basement anymore.
I don't know what we're going to see changed here from this cash defense because, frankly, there hasn't been much that I've liked from INTZ on either this cash or Jim on the way that they've set this up. And I say that with Team 1 having committed mistakes, as you noted, on both this bomb site and over on Jim Master as well, with some questionable rotates and some, I don't want to say odd calling because we don't know exactly how much of it is called, but I mean, it was if you remember, it was the whole Hibana versus Zofia thing. I am a little confused, though, by why Team 1 is now only bringing a single Heart Breacher. I mean, I guess you don't need more, but I mean, why would you not bring a Hibana here to take out Garage and possibly help on that construction wall? If your exothermic charge gets tricked, you are in so much trouble. You have 1 piece of Heart Breach left. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta say, it seems kind of unlikely that the attack is going to be able to open up both walls they want, like the workshop and the server wall. I don't, maybe, but it's going to be difficult. There's definitely a chance INTZ will just lock out one angle because there's only a thermite bot. That's a huge risk. At least there's a Capitao to make it a little bit easier. C4 will be missed there. Bandit's dead, so okay, now it's very likely that both of the walls will get opened up. Because of Vit's aggression there, he gets shut down by Reduct, and, well, Duds is also dead. So this is, well, he's not dead, but he's downed and he's not going to get picked up, and there goes Drunk. So now it's a 2v5. Okay, all right then. Double, no workshop control, but none needed, as it seems, for Team 1, as they'll open up the garage. So this is a very different attack strategy than what we're used to seeing on this bomb site. It's garage control focused. This is kind of I would call it archaic almost, an old strat. When the new Clubhouse came out, the first attack strategy that was worked out was the server wall garage take. But it was determined that garage was harder to take than workshop, so most teams shifted to the workshop take. And while this is a take you can do, it's not one that is commonly brought out, but it's clearly working great for Team 1.
There goes Duds. He's finished off as he was bleeding out, trying to hold on as long as he could at the top of garage rafters. And Now that they've got the confirmation, they can continue to move forward. This little snowball that's rolling down the hill is about to turn into an avalanche, but there's still ways to get out of the way. And that's where INTZ are going to need to scramble from. It's VNX and LATAM as one kill comes in from INTZ, but it might be a little too late. They have another mark, and the Jaeger missing his shots, unideal. As Falls gets the diffuser down successfully, taking damage, and he dies to the smoke of LATAM, a second for him. But now the timer will continue to move. One on red stairs, another heading into B-bomb site. Fellapox holding a tight angle, looks to be possibly on rappel. This is almost a death sentence for LATAM, and there you go, right into the line of sight of the L85. Grenade down in front of VNX, and he gets pushed farther back into cash. He was looking to try to grab some real estate, but he couldn't get it. It wasn't quite as free as he wanted. So now he's pinned down, just waiting. Diffuser almost at the point of no return, and he wasn't going to be able to make it out alive anyway. Team 1 takes the round.
So, solid lockout there for Team 1. What really transpired was a lot of great picks that went unanswered. And also, that garage wall, it's a very different way of attacking things. I'd say the most important kill was the kill that happened onto the Maestro on the top of rafters. I think that was Skadinia who got that one. But because the Maestro was downed, control of garage was completely lost to INTZ, and it was an easy second route for Team 1 to take to get to the bomb site and start that plant. Server wall was also open at this point, so it's easy to deny rotation back into the garage for the defense. Yeah, and that's the end of the story. Usually that guy in garage needs to prioritize staying alive. If that didn't happen, INTZ lost that player, and the round effectively again at that point was over. Not to mention picks coming other places around the map. INTZ losing one player after another, no response, and yeah, there's the story. What an interesting round. The played so haphazardly by INTZ. Now they're in a position where, again, I would even venture that this would, I would venture to say that this would be a 4-2 at the end of the half, based on what I've been seeing from INTZ. They don't seem capable of winning anywhere other than the basement, because these rounds on Cash and Jim haven't just been dominant victories for Team 1. They've been INTZ completely checked out.
I really wish we could have watched exactly what happened with INTZ there and how they were able to forfeit those picks. I don't know if they just got a little too aggressive or not, and they maybe just took fights they didn't need to take. I'm not sure. I mean, if you're INTZ, I think you kind of need to take those chances. You just saw how effective it was on that Church defense, right? On defense, on Church, you see INTZ get very aggressive, get a couple picks, and they dominated the round because of that. They might have tried the same thing here. I'm not entirely sure, but that's a great bandit trick. Boy, that is... Team 1, that was not the bandit tricking that you need at all. And Vitz gets stunned and he backs away. And there it goes.
So, at least for Team 1, they've got the second hard breacher this time around. They didn't abandon the Habana completely. They just weren't using her for one round. And, oh, obviously it's calculated, Parker. This is why they brought the Habana. They knew they were going to lose their thermite exothermic to the bandit. Absolutely calculated. Genius move on the side of Team 1. They've now got hard destruction. They can open up the workshop wall if that's where they want to go from. Of course, being sarcastic. That wall is going to be difficult to open up, even though they've got the Habana, because the bandit's in play. Thatcher is going to have to be really smart with his EMPs. He will get one bandit battery just now. So the big question is, how many batteries are left for the bandit? I'm guessing none, actually, based on the way he's playing.
Yeah, Vitz is far enough back. There goes a frag grenade. LATAM very adeptly manages to get away from that, but now there's a kill hole that will lead into where he's playing, and it looks like it might allow the attackers to walk through it as well. So those two sets of X-Kairos, well, you can just go through. That's it. Also, I didn't know Rainbow Six branded the drywall. That's something you don't see every single day. I didn't...
It's polygon drywall, standard size.
Oh. Oh, that is speaking of drywall, the most impenetrable material known to man. That is so unlucky, Lucan. What is going on? INTZ are going to be able to tie this one up unless something goes horrifically wrong. 20 seconds for Falls to get 4 kills. It's not going to happen. He's not even going to be able to make it up there.
Granted, INTZ is throwing right now, but I still don't think that he has time to win this. 2 kills and no third. So poor play from INTZ there to win that. They did not play safe. They did not play smart, but they got it in the end, and that's all that matters. We're not going to talk about that nade. I don't think it really merits it. And yeah, so 3-3 on the half. I'd say that's a solid advantage. Oh, we get a replay. In case you missed it, it looks like it was maybe it was the paint, or was it the drywall? Let's see. It was the paint. Yeah. Oof.
I mean, to be fair, if that paint can were actually full, it probably wouldn't move if you threw a grenade at it.
Yeah, if it was a full paint can, there's no way.
Those things are like what? Those things are like 20, 30 pounds, something like that per can. Like that thing's not moving.
I don't know, really, to be honest, I don't know how heavy they are, but
Hold on 1 second.
Darn. Are you Googling it? He's Googling it. I guess we're about to find out how heavy the cans of paint typically are. Yeah, either which way about it. Realism aside, because I don't think it matters. The nade miss.
A gallon of paint weighs between 6 to 12 pounds, depending on the paint being used. Okay, so that's actually less than I thought.
I mean, it's still okay. It would still okay. What would happen is the
I doubt it would move.
It would go. Well, it would move. You would knock it over, but then the nade's trajectory would still be altered, and you'd still die. Like, let's be real, you'd still die. I think so. Anyway, 3-3. That's a win for Team 1. Hey, look at that. Parker. Genius move. Team 1, when defending the top floor on a basement hold, when roaming the top floor, I should say, they bring the castle. Amazing. I wonder why. Oh, maybe because it was standardized. Ooh, that... Phoenix doesn't know how close he was to killing Skidania there, and he won't know until he rewatches the VOD, and he's gonna be like, ah, man. If he catches it, that is.
I would be so cheesed if I was Luke. My goodness.
The name?
Still, I mean, like, at that point, you just kind of have to laugh, right?
I mean, he's probably not laughing right now, but yeah, I mean...
At some point, you gotta laugh.
At the end of the match, probably, he'll look back and laugh. If you don't laugh, then it'll be unhealthy. You'll internalize it, you'll hold that one for a long time, and it's gonna get in your way in life, to be honest. It'll prevent you from taking necessary steps for self-betterment. I'm kidding. It's just a nade. Philippox will take down Duds. That's a good kill there from Lounge. Duds trying to clear solo. There's 3 roamers there. Maybe some support from the team would help.
This is the calm before the storm now. Given that it's a church defense, the attackers are going to take their sweet time in order to pull this one off.
Yes.
That's to be expected. And you can see from the lineup at Team 1, they could be roaming quite aggressively, but it doesn't look like they are at the moment. They've been fully pushed down to the site from INTZ. So this entry from INTZ, I guess, has done its intended trick. It has removed the offsite play from Team 1, barring the castle. And he's been spotted. Oh, he is in so much trouble. There were 3 members of INTZ collapsing on him.
At least he did a little bit of damage to VNX before he died. That's something, right?
I suppose so.
There's a hard read there from INTZ and solid punish onto Team 1. Now, we go to the basement where all of Team 1 have scattered. They were just going to wait this out. Puck is trying to avoid impact tricking by peeking through the holes he has made. Goyo shield spotted. He'll try to get that with a grenade.
Needs to be really careful here because he's almost entirely out of ammo on the skeleton key.
It's actually much more limited than some people think about. Like when you actually get in as a buck and you start opening things up, you notice how little soft destruction you really have. Even though you've got a bunch. And speaking of how little, the time. There's 10 seconds left. INTZ is going to have to rush. Where are they rushing? Looks like Arsenal. It's a double drop and Redux stops that. Bodo is working out for INTZ, but they don't have diffusers, so it doesn't really matter. They actually don't have time to win this. Nice try, though. Team 1 will take it. That C4 would have killed both of those players. Alas, but one more second, and the KD would have been superior. But no, Team 1, their first defense goes their way. The roam upstairs wasting a significant amount of time. And even though Fellapox didn't get a kill, at least, again, he wasted time of 3 players. Actually 4, because 1 was on drone. Everyone on the team was focused on him for a solid 20, 30 seconds. And yeah, they got that kill, but oh boy, what cost?
You know, I will say this about Fellapox. His growth has been quite large, because there was a period of time when he was on this Team 1 squad, and I'll be completely honest with you, he was not their top performer. And when you look at the contributions that he made to the team, there were many times where he was in a, 1vx or an xv whatever, and he was just, you couldn't rely on him to be able to close out the round. And we as casters saw it on multiple occasions where, it's Fellapox against everybody. He's not really going to do all that well. And his stat line, as you could see, his stat line on the roster page that went in before this was not the greatest. The best member statistically on this team currently is 0 and 4. So things can change, and you need a big performance from people who aren't Lukid. You compared this team to BDS, wherein Lukid is more like Shaiko, which is where if they, if the main fragger doesn't show up, then things go south really quickly. I'm glad to see the rest of Team 1 pulling their weight, and I'm glad to see Fellapox doing well. If Lukid wakes up, this is effectively over, more than it might already be, given the fact that Team 1 is now on defense.
Yeah, but remember when I said that if he's not showing up, I mean, there's still potential for INTZ to swing this back, but I'd say the map sides make this kind of difficult. It's not likely. And yeah, Lukid sitting in the wings waiting for his moment. See if that even needs to come. Right now, a lot of these rounds are looking pretty one-sided, pretty decisive for Team 1. That's what I will say. Most of the wins that Team 1 have been one-sided. A lot of the wins that INTZ are getting are very close. There's been that one round that INTZ got towards the end of the first half. And INTZ got, it was very, very one-sided. That also was the round where Team 1 had a lot of team kill. Well, the one team kill. One self-nade. INTZ will start things off well, though, with a kill one to Skadinia. Guys inside of server. Odd spot for him to find himself. Definitely not advised. Fellapox also ate some damage. Raduk going for a run out. Claymore is spotted and dealt with. He sees an enemy, but does not land the shot. Now he'll run away, trying to make his way back to the site and be useful in this round.
That's a pick you need, and a good operator to take down as well. INTZ really didn't give up all that much to be able to get that open, and made some pretty good time of it while also taking a sizable chunk of HP away from Fellapox, who will now just sit and play around those deployable shields that are guarding the breach hole, I want to say. There goes the exothermic charge on the garage wall downstairs. You'd said that this was a bit vintage, a bit archaic, I believe was the exact word that you used. And well, it's going to be this, it's going to, vintage, I think you said archaic.
No, you can say vintage is what either one.
Either or.
Yeah.
6 and 1, half a dozen of the other, I guess. By the way, that's 2 kills, or rather 1 kill for Raduk there onto Drunks. 2 kills that have happened so far, 1 against either team, and Drunks being taken out. Well, you have no exothermic charges remaining, so it's not particularly crucial. Though Diffuser is down and VNX, I guess, decides not to take it.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't need it. It's 30 seconds left. You're probably not going to try to pull off an execute, all knowing that. Ali Mao will rotate around. He's going to grab the Diffuser, so there you have it. And it's a run out from the Valkyrie, who will actually make it in and almost get the shots, but will likely be cut down as he tries to enter, and he gets pre-fired. There you go, by Vitz. He meets his maker on red stairs as Lukid has his team's back. Fellapox is there as well. Alan now has to get off of that defuse and somehow manages to evade all of the smoke, but not the C4. Duds in a 1v2, time running out, and his life running out as well. Another from Team 1. They are doing so well on defense, and they have finally broken away from their opponent. They set up 5-3.
Let's see, that was really hard to watch, that run out, the second run out from the Valkyrie, and then the miss on the Hibana. It all just went as wrong as it could have. And sometimes it's hard to see stuff like that and be like, oh, yeah. Good job to Team 1 locking that out, though. They really shouldn't have been able to, considering the advantage that was racked up early by INTZ, but INTZ was not very diligent when it came to the off-site presence. It did not clear out Lounge quickly enough. Because of that, their half-hearted attempt to hit the site late was, well, pushed to the very brink. And it was held out well by Team 1. Not jumping the gun, not getting impatient, even though they had lost men early on. Gotta give them props to that. So now we find ourselves in gym, on the precipice of match point. So close to finishing this. Not quite there yet. The question is, can Team 1 defend gym, or rather, will INTZ be able to successfully attack gym? The expectation is yes, but, well, not always met. Especially not today. It's been a weird one. I will say that the shield that Telepox just put down, the one by the island, is a terrible shield. It makes that position unplayable. If you lose the shield, you have to run out and die. That is the type of position where Falls is right now, where you put a regular shield instead of a Goyo shield, because you rely on being able to play that position. If you die there, it'll be because of one of two things. One, you got shot at an angle you weren't accounting for. And two, the shield exploded, you had to run, and you got caught in a cross.
I like how you said that this was almost over. Not quite. And I have a feeling that we are likely going to see a bounce back from INTZ. I don't think they are as dead in the water as the scoreline might suggest. All it takes is one misstep from Team 1. In regards to getting a bit too cocky, maybe a bit too brazen, and then it's all over for them.
I mean, that's a little unfair. I'd say probably 6 missteps. 6, because we're seeing on average 3 or 4 per round. And then in order to capitalize on an attack win, or in order to make an attack win on Clubhouse, apart from Jim maybe, I'd say it's about 6.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I will say I am glad that this match has lived up to its billing in terms of how close we thought it was going to be.
True.
Though it hasn't exactly been a battle of the Titans. There have been, as you said, a lot of missteps committed by these teams, and there's been some unpredictable and kind of curious choices that have been made.
We can call there's one misstep right there. The impact that it could have stopped the Habana did not. It could have. Because the Habana was not placed all the way on the bottom. But it failed. There's one.
Funny enough, though, I don't know, I'm sure you know this. If you do the Habana at the first notch of metal on a reinforcement, you can actually crouch walk through a single thing of X-Kairos.
It's hard to pull off, though, like the actual lineup, and we so rarely see pros do it because of its difficulty. Skadinya has rotated to the top of garage, and he'll use that rotate to get a pressure on Evitz, but he gives away his position, and then rotates into Cash, and he's not found anyone. He's about to get come up on from behind. Duds now has the advantage, and that is a huge missed opportunity from Skadinya. That almost feels bad to watch. This Reduct tries to assist him and dies in the process. That's just all bad for Team 1, as they've also lost gym control to boot. Drunks is going to go for a plant in just a few seconds here. Question is, will Fellapox be able to stop it? Looks like the answer might be yes, and there it is. 2 kills for Fellapox. He gets the cover and the planter. Here's the vault. Habana up close, but he loses that fight. Vitz is on a tear. It's all on Lucan. He'll get shut down. It's with the collapse into Jim, and they will take the round. So, that bounce back that you predicted seems...
I was going to say, what I say.
You were right, yes. Yes, Parker.
Yes, Queen. I know. Thank you. You're very welcome for predicting that one correctly.
Yeah, thank you. So it'll be a church defense for Team 1 now, as they attempt to go to a different bomb site. Jim's not their place.
Let's go back to what we talk about site rotation on Clubhouse, because teams don't usually win Gym Master. Best case scenario for Team 1, you're going to win Church and Cash again. You're going to close us out in 2 rounds. That is your ideal scenario right now. And given the way that both Church and Cash played out for Team 1, unless that we see some magic happen from INTZ, then it should go in their favor, especially Cash. Cash was so overwhelmingly in T1's hand that they still threw as hard as they could at the end of the round and only lost 2 of 5 people.
Five, good. Bottom floor defense. See if this goes any different. I don't know. This is supposed to be the site that's a little bit harder to attack. So
10 seconds left.
But yeah, no. I guess the main takeaway from today has been, as you said, this match has been living up to its billing as compared to some of the other matches we've had today, which have not. I mean, let's look at the list here. BD versus MIBR. Now, you think that's probably going to be an MIBR win, but you think it'll be a little bit close, right? Well, no. Spoilers. 7-0, MIBR. Hello, Liquid versus FaZe. 7-2, Liquid. That's not supposed to happen, and you didn't even think that one might go all the way to a draw. Ninjas in Pajamas versus Singularity. Another situation when you don't expect the thing to happen happens. This is weird. Singularity draws Nip. I don't know. It's yeah. This is not supposed to be like a very close match, this is not supposed to be a one-sided match, but it is, and it isn't. No, that's what I was about to. Yeah, this is the odd one out, as it is living up to expectations. Judge is gonna get Redux, who is playing by the pool table or billiards, and start off with a nice man advantage.
Effective entry, though, Duds almost botches it. The Castle of Felipox as well had been playing on blue stairs, and Vitz was very wary of his positioning. Felipox has gotten away, though, and that's 2 EE1Ds that have been used. And the Lion actually gets baited in beautifully to Lukid playing from above. 2 kills for Lukid through the last 2 rounds is not bad. He's going to need to continue to heat up. VNX will break into CCTV and miss the opportunity onto the Mozzie. Ali Mao is there to take out Skagenia, so the Mozzie is no more, and Ali Mao actually with 2 kills. And he'll continue to grow that gap that has now formed and cemented itself between both INTZ and Team 1. Felipox and Falls now with a very ballsy play from Falls all the way up to the end of Dirt. And speaking of ballsy, Felipox prone waiting, watching the moto hatch.
Balls first.
I love when that just lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to get up on that jukebox, by the way.
Mm-hmm. It is a kind of a weird vault, I guess.
It is, yeah.
But you can get it. A nice tracer red there by Felipox. He'll get 1. Spots the second. There's another, I believe, coming from Oil Pit. So Felipox will rotate in the nick of time. Balls, the other player needs to be diligent of blue, but he'll not miss his shot. Oh, he will miss his shot onto Trunks. That's huge. Now it's all Felipox. He gets 1 more. These are down. 25 seconds to go. It's still very winnable. All about positioning and timing of the engagements.
He could get the thermite.
Yeah, he could get the thermite. He'd also get the Buck, who's on low HP. Buck trying to go for a plant. Thermite trying to cover the plant in Arsenal. Felipox has to go, but I don't think he knows. He misses the shot onto the thermite. That was the crucial moment right there. Drunks winning it out, and INTZ will take another round.
What'd I say?
You well, you said a lot of things. I'm guessing you said this was going to be a close one. A draw, maybe? Or you were saying the best scenario was something along the lines of you managed to take it on cash?
I mean, I actually was wrong. So I said 2 things. I covered myself, right?
Okay.
I covered myself, and I was like, well, they should win church in cash.
You had
and then and then they'll get it. But no, we're gonna need all 12 rounds regardless. But cash was a much more decisive victory for Team 1. So, I mean, you can also kind of look at momentum though and see if it's gonna hold, because the last 2 rounds have been much stronger for INTZ than we've seen. In fact, they might have actually been INTZ's like 2 best rounds, with the exception of that one defense where INTZ just collapsed on them. It was the church defense in round number 4, where they got the opening pick and they killed everybody instantly on Rome. I think it was like a 5v2 with like 1 minute and 45 seconds left, or some insane number like that. But INTZ definitely has some momentum right now. And yeah, I think a draw is probably still the likely result of this matchup. Let's say that Team 1 wins cash CCTV. you probably go back down to church if you're team one, and then INTZ may or may not win it. It becomes a coin flip at that point. If team one loses this round, I think the likelihood of INTZ winning the whole game soars. And obviously, when you look at the standings, team one desperately needs points to avoid that 8th place. And they are, well, they're getting hot. You know, they got hot at the wrong time because now INTZ is the one back in the driver's seat here.
Not fully done yet, though. Still plenty of match yet left to play. We're about to see. I think the main takeaway is that we're very close to being done here. Flashes go in, try and clear out ADSs and discs. Partial success.
There's another, I was going to say there's another ADS. I don't know if they've put any Lamai magnets over there. I would imagine the magnets are probably positioned somewhat in the garage and then maybe over towards the top of red. That'd be my guess. Active tricking from Skadinia? No, he throws out a C4 and Vitz just falls off. He might actually have the double loss now. Frag grenade goes down, damage done, and yes, Skadinia needs to get out of there. Not only does his C4 miss, but he's not able to bandit trick effectively. Meanwhile, the first kill has come out from INTZ. As I said, they've caught fire at the right time. Trailing on cache CCTV is never fun. If you lose that hold that you have upstairs on the rafters of garage, then things can get even worse. And if we can see from our perspective, but Team 1 can possibly, or rather INTZ can possibly know it, then the rafters are free and clear. Luke is going to be the playmaker here. 3 members of INTZ inside of the garage. Can he possibly get anything with it?
Looks like with the control that INTZ has, they should be able to pretty easily execute onto the B bomb site. The fact that Skadinia doesn't have a C4 is crucial in the outcome of this round. Fellapox must have gas canisters. There's no C4 from below either. All the C4s are gone. So the gas canisters are going to be integral for the outcome of the round on Team 1's side. Skadinia could make some plays from his position near the shield. It's not going to be easy, though. There goes the plant. Gas canisters need to follow. Good control here from the Zofia, and he'll get away without damaging himself. And no, just barely. Oh, boy. That is the perfect timing for Fellapox. Drunks was about a second away from getting that plant, and that kill is going to change the outcome of this round significantly. Second gas canister goes, but it's poorly placed this time, and Vince is going to be able to plant with no problem. He will likely eat some damage on the exit, but he's going to get it down. What? So post-plant situation, and INTZ now find themselves in a no-lose spot. The only way Team 1 are going to be able to make this happen is with a bull rush, and it's not going to work. INTZ clean up shop.
I would feel so cheated on that one if I was Team 1. Both of those smokes should have done a little bit of damage at minimum, and both of them completely missed. The smoke propagation in this game has never been particularly reliable. It's part of why the devs have said that they want to fix that. But if the smoke works, as we all assume it is intended to work as, there's no way INTZ gets that plant off. No way. They are dying from that smoke within 7 seconds. That is so rough.
I do think, to be fair, the smokes were somewhat poorly placed.
Okay, but the first one, I will agree. The first one looks like it hit the server rack and fell too short. The second one was right over top of him by the window and the garage panels. That one should have at least reached him.
Well, maybe a little too far, though, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, it's not... I'm not going to tell you that it, guarantee you that was too far. Everything... He didn't do it right.
You need to take a stand here. I said it should work. You need to be like, it didn't work.
What? No, I mean... here's the thing, though, because I agree with you flat out on the fact that smoke propagation in this game is absolutely terrible. And that's been like that for years. I mean, well, since release. But yeah, there should definitely be a fix. I mean, a lot of people have suggested, I think, the basically just make smokes exactly like regular smokes, but yellow, and then have them do damage. But I don't, I'm assuming there's some reason that's not possible because it hasn't been done yet. Or there's some reason they don't want to do it. Maybe it was tested and turned out it was overpowered or something like that. Whatever the case be, yeah, smokes have always been unreliable. And, it's an interesting subject, actually, because we've been talking about recently we've been talking about recently how Smoke has been played less than he used to be. He used to be the one of those operators that is always picked. And part of that is because there's other options now to do the same thing that Smoke does. And it's part of that 20-second meta thing. There's just so many choices. And then also, yeah, part of it is, again, his constant unreliability. But he still gets played. He still gets picked by a lot of people. He's still a very popular operator, and you can still make him work. You just got to get the canister like right on where you want it to be damaging people.
So this is a very crucial round for both of these teams. On the line is a victory for INTZ, which would almost assuredly cement Team 1 down in last place for the remainder of the season. They are still, from what I understand, 2 points. Let me pull this up here.
2 points.
Yeah, so they're 2 points back of Black Dragons. Team Singularity drew against NIP, so they are at 15 points, which means that the only team that Team 1 would be able to catch if they lose is Black Dragons. That's it. And so that cements that they will be in the bottom 2. A single point will actually still cement them in the bottom 2, actually. But it will obviously work better for them depending on who they play next week.
Did that Habana just vault through a barricade? Yeah. Oh, that was not intentional. Yeah, whatever just happened there was definitely not intentional. There was some kind of visual thing going on. Vitz didn't see the barricade, which he was vaulting through. And then I guess the server decided there was a barricade there. And so now they have to rotate an exothermic charge over to this drop. They don't have a choice. And that's going to get impact tricked. The Habana Excaros probably wouldn't have as it fully detonated. I don't know. What we do know is that, oh boy, the window absorbed an Excaros set. So now the drop down in Arsenal's not open. It's going to be a different attack strategy for INTZ, and that might change the outcome of this round.
There's a smoke that'll go off into Moto. Preemptive, maybe, who knows? Goyo's shield blows up and some damage is done to Falls, but he's able to toss some of that marigold-colored smoke down yet again. And in the X shape, X marks the spot of where the push needs to come in from INTZ. As they will sit and wait, they are all assembled over by Church. The final smoke canister goes down. Maybe popped a bit too early, but guns prepped and ready for the push that's going to come in from INTZ. The very first kill comes out, and it's actually on Nephelipox. It comes at the hands of INTZ. Their opening duels are key, and they hold the advantage now, but it's gone. Team 1 actually has it. Those 2 kills are so important for them. Drugs is getting the diffuser down. He's last alive, and he'll need to make work happen. He takes out Rayduct. Skitinia is down as well. Drunks will need a beautiful clutch here. It's him versus Lukid in a 1v1, unless Skitinia can get picked back up. I think he knows that he's bleeding out. There's the Jaeger. Down goes the Maestro. No, but Lukid wins it. What a clutch from Team 1. And it's a draw for both of these teams. No victory from INTZ. The Jaeger turns on him. And at the very final moment, Team 1 are able to bail themselves out of a losing scenario, and they pick up 1 point for their troubles.
Great reaction there from Lukid. Also, his ability to get his teammate up, huge for sure. That knife kill almost kept INTZ in that. I will say, and I think it's what they're talking about in the chat right now, that Habana Excaros bugging out on the window drastically changed the way the round played out.